Good morning, everyone, and welcome to SVTV. My name is Tara Bell. Today is Thursday, February 23rd, 2017. The current temperature outside is 21 degrees. Today, we're at the Hertig Shooting Center and Gun Club out Ohio Gulch. If you haven't checked this place out, you definitely should. It is pretty darn cool. The weather has been really crazy lately, but we're going to talk about that in just a second. Monday was President's Day, so this week we thought it'd be great to honor a couple veterans that live in the Wood River Valley and talk to them and just kind of see what their experience was serving the country and what they're doing today. But first, let's talk about that weather. Snow. Snow has been the theme for the entire winter, and we are getting more of it today. 2 inches the weather does call for, with a high of 32 degrees, a low of 20. For Friday, it looks like our temperatures will be 27 degrees with a low of 10, and for Saturday, 25 degrees your high, dropping down into single digits, a low of 8 degrees. And for Sunday, 25 degrees will be your high and 15 degrees your low. Now, we haven't gotten any new snow since 5:30 a.m., but in the past 24 hours, we're looking at 0. 48 hours, 4 inches, and in the last 72 hours, we have gotten 1.5 foot of that perfect white stuff for everyone. We do have 95 runs open. 47 of them are groomed. The rest are big pow. All the lifts are open, and your season total is 283 inches, far surpassing the yearly average. Now, please do make sure, with all of the recent snow, the wind, the rain, and all of the crazy conditions, if you are heading out to go backcountry skiing, that you do check the avalanche report. You can go to www.sawtoothavalanche.com for more information on the backcountry. Okay, like I said, it's a good week to pay some tribute to some vets that live in town. I'd like to welcome Justin Safley. He's an employee at Higher Ground and a former military medic to the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you bet. This is a good opportunity for you to come on the show today and talk to me a little bit about your experience in the military and what you did.
Sure, yeah. So I joined the Air Force back in 2002, right after high school. And then I went in as an enlisted medic and did that for 10 years.
Wow.
I was a combat medic in Afghanistan from 2005 to 2006. I was assigned to Army infantry units. Since the Army had shortfalls everywhere between Iraq and Afghanistan, they started lobbying their sister services, Navy, Air Force, to fill those shortfalls for medics. So I was one of the first pilot groups to go through Fort Benning, Georgia, to go through infantry school and field medic school. And then I was sent over to Afghanistan to meet up with infantry over there. Wow. So I was doing foot patrols with them, missions, and kind of a trying to win the hearts and minds campaign as well, going to different towns and villages and providing medical care to children and adults there as well. So
yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard for me to wrap my mind around that, just because that's pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't think people really think about the medics that are on the ground along with the troops. What did you get out of that whole experience? I mean, I know it's probably a lot of heartache, but what else have you taken from that experience?
It was very humbling for me. I learned a lot, and I've seen how war, I guess, brings out the worst in people.
Sure.
But it also can bring out the best in people too, as far as their abilities to serve and save lives. So it's a double-edged sword with being a medic, because they don't ever call the doc up for something good. It's always something bad. Sure. So I got good at doing a lot of trauma. I seen probably more trauma than most trauma nurses in an ER that's worked there for 30 years.
I bet.
So, like I said, no matter how, as far as being humbling, I came back and realized that no matter how bad I think it is, it's always worse for someone else, somewhere else.
Always.
So I kind of keep that in the back of my mind.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have any interest in being a medic here in the United States?
No.
You're over
I'm
it.
done.
It's all done.
Yeah, I'm done.
That's a
with
long
that.
time to do that.
Yeah, so.
Well, that brings me to your current job at Higher Ground now. Tell me a little bit about what you do there.
Yeah, so I do all the logistics coordination for Higher Ground. We'll do all the planning and setup and making sure we have the right people in the right place at the right time. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of moving parts, and like a cog in a wheel. You gotta stay a step ahead of everybody else, and try to make everybody happy too at the same time, which is never going to happen.
Never,
So,
like in your whole life, that's
No.
never going to happen.
No.
I think we all know that for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your service. Thank you
you.
for coming today.
Yeah, thank you, Tara, for having me.
I'm proud to know you.
Yeah, thank you. I
Yeah, you
appreciate
bet.
it.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for Justin for coming on the show. Let's see what's going on here in the Wood River Valley for the weekend. Let's check out those events. Constellations is being performed at the Liberty Theater tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. The tickets are $35 and can be purchased online or at the box office. Brooks Hartel is playing at 6:30 tonight at the Duchin Room. This performance is free. The Emily Stanton Band will be rocking out at River Run Friday from 2:30 until 5:30 p.m. And Nothing But Heroes is a great Twin Falls band, and they will be playing at the Silver Dollar at 9:30 p.m. The Next Stage Theater presents Tony Award-winning Mothers and Sons Friday and Saturday at 7:30, and tickets are $25. Also Saturday from 3:30 until 8:30, swing on into the limelight for the Prefort Literary Jam performed by the Spots Theater Troupe. And for Sunday, always a fun event, the annual Animal Shelter Pot and Pull from 11 until 2 p.m. A Dr. Seuss theme this year, $10 for pre-registration, $15 day fee. For more information, you can go to animalshelterwrv.org. Wow, a lot of stuff going on this weekend, a lot of stuff happening in town, big snow, all kinds of fun things. And speaking of something really cool, we've gotten to be friends with Monty Heath, who also works at Higher Ground, but he's also part of a company called Vet to CEO. A few days I caught up with him on FaceTime, and this is what Monty had to say. We'll be right back after this. Hey Monty, thanks a lot for joining us on SVTV today.
My pleasure.
Before we dive right into what Vet to CEO is, let's talk a little bit about your history with the military.
Sure. So I joined the military at 17 years old in the delayed entry program in 11th grade of high school, and then graduated high school and went straight into the Navy and straight into SEAL training. So I was 18 in Buds.
18 in Buds, and how long did you serve?
So I did 11 years in the teams, and then got out in 2004.
11 years probably gives you enough credibility and I guess enough energy to want to do something to give back, and that's kind of what brings us to Vet to CEO. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the program and why you are a part of it?
About 4 years ago, I went through the program myself, the Vet to CEO program, and I thought it was great. I was really impressed with the guys. And about 2 years ago, I called them up and said, hey, I want to help you guys out any way I can, volunteer my time. And they thought about it. They gave me a call the next day and said, you know, we're not getting any younger. We want a newer OEF, OIF type person to head up the company if you're interested. So they offered me the job of executive director, and I took it. And I've been in that seat for about 2.5 years now.
I think Vet to CEO is pretty explanatory about what it is, but tell me exactly what you guys do.
So we teach veterans or even active duty personnel business skills, how to buy a business, how to start a business, how to buy a franchise, and then how to run that business. We talk about everything from marketing to capital to all sorts of seeking debt equity or seeking angel investor money, and basically everything you need to know to run a business.
Awesome. I'm on your website right now, actually, and I've been checking it out over the past hour or two. And it looks like you have a core program that if people want to join, they can go ahead and get on your website and give you guys a call and enter the 7-week program. Tell me about that.
So the 7 weeks is it's every Tuesday night, and it's a live webinar. Our two facilitators currently are also the two founders of the organization. They put the course on. It's 2 hours long, and we also have a veteran guest speaker come on every week, and that is a veteran who owns a business and comes on and tells us his trials and tribulations of what it took for him to become a successful business owner.
Has it been a success for people? Have you seen people go through that program and then come out just, doing amazingly well?
Sure, it's not for everybody. Entrepreneurship and business ownership is not for everybody, but you'll figure it out. You'll probably figure out in the 7-week process if it is for you. And we feel it's a great transition. It's a great transition to go from the military into your own business, and especially franchises. Actually, franchises, in the military, we understand running by a playbook and running by a set of rules. And when you purchase a franchise, basically that playbook is given to you, and you just have to execute it. And if you execute it as the playbook says, you're probably going to be successful.
So moving forward with Vet to CEO over the next 4 to 10 years, what goals do you have for yourself?
Well, we want to serve more people. We want to put more veterans to work and have more veterans, realize their dreams. We help them produce a business plan and everything that goes involved with that, all the financials and everything, and really get their idea on paper and put some action steps that they can work towards. And basically just, we want to produce more entrepreneurs. We want to see more veterans transfer from the military to entrepreneurship.
I think even if you're not going to start your own business or become a CEO, I think those life skills, just business skills in general, you really don't learn even through college. So I think those are just amazing that you guys can do that for people.
Yeah, it's fulfilling. It's great to see. It's great to see somebody take an idea they have in their head, put it on paper, put some hard time and work into it, and then come out the other side, hopefully get some funding and get on the way with creating their business.
Yeah, and I know that you donate your time to this and to a lot of other organizations. What is it in you that drives you to want to help so much and give your time? You're a busy guy. What is it that moves you to do this?
I think veterans deserve it the most. You know, when I was in the SEAL teams and I was in the service, you know, I was a different person. It was more about me. It was more about the fun of blowing things up and doing all the fun training and jumping out of airplanes and scuba diving and all that. But now that I have a wife and kids, I just kind of want to give back. I want to give back to other veterans. There's a lot of veterans in need, and they have a lot of different needs, and I want to help them in any way that I can.
Well, awesome. We're proud of you for doing it, and we appreciate your time today.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Tara.
Yeah, you bet. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks, Monty, for your time. We know you're a busy guy, so thanks for taking the time to do that. We also want to thank Higher Ground and Vet to CEO for sponsoring our show today, two both awesome organizations. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Please remember to like or to follow our page and encourage all your friends to do so as well. Keep watching Thursdays at 10 o'clock a.m. for all the great things happening right here in the Wood River Valley. Have an awesome day.